Living with ALS in Malaysia, having access to clinical trials means hope. It means that they are not forgotten. It means there's a chance, even a small one, for better treatment, for time with the family, and for a better life, as well as understanding this complex disease. Right now, many of us here in Malaysia and around this region don't have this chance. Clinical trials are hard to reach, and that needs to change. By opening doors to clinical research, patients here can contribute to scientific progress while potentially benefiting from all the therapies that are not yet readily available for them. When people with ALS can join these trials, they are not just helping themselves, they are helping others too. Every trial brings us one step closer to a cure and a hope. For the ALS community here, access to clinical trials is not just about science. It is about being seen, heard, and given a fighting chance at life once again.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to share some thoughts on how challenging it is for Indian areas and and to be a part of clinical trials. So first of all, we all know majority of the clinical trials are conducted in the Western countries, like America, UK, and Australia, and sometimes Europe. So, first challenge is that these trials do not have any international sign in India. So they all have a requirement of citizenship of that particular country. So Indian patients are not eligible. Secondly, even if they have an international sign, majority of the time, India is not included. So our Indian patients cannot travel internationally because of their physical limitations and therefore cannot be a part. Although in other countries, the patient may face a language barrier. Not communication may be a challenge. Although if the patient somehow become a part of clinical trial, then the follow-up and follow-up testing become challenging because they have to have regular international visits for them to continue to be a part of clinical trials. So many challenges are posed and very difficult to overcome them.
Hello everyone, my name is Orlando Ruiz and I am the founder of the Colombian Association for Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis, ASILA, and a member of the People with ALS MND and Caregivers Advisory Council of the International Alliance. Today I will share my perspective on what it would mean to have access to clinical trials in ALS MND. ASILA's vision of hope involves constant, rational, and concrete efforts to offer a better quality of life and survival for people with ALS, MND, and their families. The possibility of recruitment in a clinical trial allows individuals and their families to feel like active participants in the construction of knowledge, giving their hope a transcendent meaning. Each region of the Global South has unique genetic, environmental, and cultural characteristics that can optimize responses to latent questions regarding the determinants of disease progression and treatment response. Aquila has been working with the two multidisciplinary clinics that exist in Colombia, and I'm sure that other countries in the Global South are doing the same. In Colombia, I have been working closely with the multidisciplinary centers. These centers are the Roosevelt Institute and the National University Hospital. The Roosevelt Institute, with its research experience with target ALS, ensures the rigor of the scientific method. The National University Hospital received the certification to conduct clinical studies with the highest standards of safety, ethics, and scientific quality. One of the most relevant aspects of implementing clinical trials in the Global South is the inclusion of this population, as most ALS studies have been conducted in Europe and North America, with limited representation. Considering that factors such as genetics, access to treatments, and socioeconomic characteristics can influence disease progression and therapeutic response, it is essential to have our own data to tailor management strategies to the specific needs of our population. Moreover, the opportunity to participate in clinical trials provides people with ALS MND with access to innovative therapies, including experimental treatments that can modify disease progression and improve quality of life. This not only expands therapeutic options in the region, but also positions the Global South as a key player in global ALS MND research, facilitating international collaborations and knowledge exchange with reference centers worldwide. In this context, multidisciplinary clinics like the two in Colombia become a bridge between research and clinical practice, offering people with ALS MND the opportunity to access the latest scientific advancements in a high quality and methodologically rigorous environment, contributing to the development of more effective treatments tailored to the reality of the Global South. Thank you.
Hey everyone, this is Pablo from the ALS Association of Argentina. So when an international clinical trial comes to your country, it generates a very positive ripple effect. Firstly, ALS gains a lot of visibility. Secondly, it creates also a relationship between the patient, their families, and the clinic where the clinical trial is taking place, providing also the opportunity for improving multidisciplinary care in that area. And thirdly, and perhaps the most important aspect, is that these patients have the opportunity to receive a treatment that may improve their condition. So if the trial is positive, many others will receive that benefit. And if the trial happens to be negative, those participants still feel that they were part of something significant. They were part of science and they were helping science. So yes, we do need more clinical trials in Latin America, in Africa, and in many other underrepresented regions of the world. Thank you.
I want to bring our focus to this critical issue, the urgent need for inclusion in clinical trials in the Global South. We are witnessing a remarkable medical breakthrough, treatments that are transforming lives. But these advancements rely on clinical trials, a process that remains very rare in the Global South. Despite significant disease burden, many in our regions are left out of trials, and without inclusion, life-saving treatments remain out of reach, while medical research risks overlooking the diversity of affected population. We in the Global South recognize and appreciate the strides made in the research and innovation, but now it's time to expand clinical trials to our regions, because health breakthroughs should reach everyone. Where are clinical trials happening? Globally, clinical trials are the foundation of medical progress, yet most are concentrated outside Global South. This is despite high disease prevalence in our regions. Even the World Economic Forum has echoed this concern, and it's found in the Scaling Up Clinical Research in Africa. Why is this happening? Several barriers stand in the way. Limited research infrastructure, regulatory challenges, some are within our systems, economic constraints. Unfortunately, these challenges haven't received enough attention, and as a result, many in the Global South remain without access to potentially life-challenging treatments. To echo this, allow me to use an example of my personal experience. For me, this isn't just theory, it's personal. A few years ago, my family faced a painful reality of trying to access promising treatment for ALS. We exhausted every possible avenue. We engaged regulatory authorities in Kenya. We appealed to the highest levels of Kenyan leadership. We reached out to the pharmaceutical companies, yet access remained out of reach. There was no structured pathways to access clinical trials. For families like mine, no matter how hard we fought, there were no options. Time ran out, but this is not just my story. It's heartbreaking reality faced by thousands of families in the global south, waiting, hoping, and too often losing their loved ones. Why this should matter to everyone? Number one, medical equity is a global responsibility. Diseases do not recognize borders, neither should solutions. Ensuring diverse representation in clinical research strengthens global health outcomes for everyone. Genetic, environment, and lifestyle differences across regions must be considered for medical innovation to be truly inclusive. Number two, economic reasons. Beyond science, we must ask, how do we ensure that medical innovations reach everyone, including those in the global south where access to advanced treatments remain limited? How do we create global medical system that is not only innovative but also fair? It's our shared responsibility to ensure that life-saving advancements are not out of reach for those who need them. So we need to call ourselves to action. By expanding clinical trials capacity in the global south is not just scientific necessity, it's human responsibility. Access to treatment should not be determined by geography. Medical innovation should benefit everyone everywhere. Together we can change the future of healthcare for millions. As I close, hope is not about ignoring reality. It's about recognizing the challenges and taking action to shape a future. When we combine hope with action, we create stronger health systems, better illness management, and future where no one is left behind. Thank you. Let's keep this conversation going, work together, and fight for global health equity. And there is hope. Thank you.